All right, there we go. We'll be live in 12. All these orc boys.
Okay, getting us back up and running.
Yep, all the orc boys look the same. All right.
I definitely noticed all the green, even Gazlo keeping with that.
Yeah, like I said, the only Garrosh had to be the awkward one. But we are back here, so let's take a peek here. So now announcing this team. Arrow, we are ready. I don't think they can see that. We're back up. All right, so Deribo on that Zul'jin, Mudge on the Garrosh. We're going to have Arrow on that Gazlo, Rabid Penguin on the Thrall, and Arya on the Rhaegar. And who do we have on the right-hand side, Born?
We've got Albatox on that Tassadar, Dirk on the Deckard, Tribulation on Sonya, Sexy Exy on May, and Smart Killer on Hanzo.
All right, so we will rotate back here. 3, 2, 1. This is back up. Again, I'm sorry for everybody. I had it all set up and just didn't have it enabled, so that is a thing. There we go. Sorry about that, Arrow. All right, so these teams
Got a for the Horde here in chat.
Hey, at least they're representing right. I know you don't play WoW at all, Born, but the Horde is the better of the two, in my opinion.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I'll take your word for it here.
All right, so we are going to march here for the center, and let's pull up some talents here for everybody to see as we do the ceremonious trade out buttons and some damage here in the mid lane. We're going to see Deckard go ahead and throw down some Capri Suns already. Vision coming out from the hunt.
Nice.
Yep. Gonna go ahead and blow up that turret. No free damage coming out from Arrow here.
I'm sure he'll be able to get plenty of damage in as the game goes on.
All right, so taking a look here at level 1 Talons, we do see the Zul'jin going to go ahead and start that Q build. That seems to be the go-ahead build nowadays. As the rotation comes down here, we do have... Oh, we do see the root going to come out onto the Tassadar. Is going to get caught. We're going to see the bite in from Arya, but not enough to take down that Tassadar. But Mudge finds himself out of position. The poke damage is coming out, but it will be not quite enough to take down old Gary there with that passive armor.
And that was something you had mentioned at the beginning of the game, that you were concerned that Garrosh was a little more susceptible here to the poke, coming out from Hanzo and even from Tassadar. So that's, his positioning, gonna have to watch that. Definitely be aware of that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and Rolling Thunder coming out for the Thrall there makes sense to me. Both teams are going to rotate here on their concert camps. We do see Simple Geometry, the W stacking quest for Hanzo, and the Static Charge, the Q quest coming out from the Tassadar. So late game comp coming out here from the side of BeefBois, but again, that poke is going to be really detrimental to that front line.
Rush getting the toss off on that May, but don't know that. A little bit of damage coming out, but nothing substantial accomplished there. Just interrupting rotations as these teams continue to get their XP collected here at the beginning. Slightly ahead a little bit on the side of ReGen Phoenix.
Absolutely. So here comes some free poke. Arrow's going to rotate down here. Out comes the ice wall coming out. Or, I'm sorry, not the ice wall, but the ice block coming out. Deribo getting awfully low in the back there, but will be topped off. Does pop his own regeneration, but Smart Killer is going to go ahead and chase him off with another scatter arrow.
You said that poke damage. And though Zul'jin can do poke damage of his own, he's also going to have to watch for that as well.
Yep, absolutely.
You see Sonya coming back down to mid lane here, going to continue that double soaking. ReGen Phoenix moving over to take their bruisers.
All right, so they are opting for the bruisers. We do see the mutual camp down here bottom. I'm going to go over to the BeefBois here. I like that timing on both of these camps, but so Sonya shouldn't have a problem here. Let's take a peek here down in the mid lane. Sexy actually just trying to stall rotations. Thrall is down there in the bottom, but like this rotation, is going to be tough. They should make quick work of this one, but the BeefBois are going to rotate up here, clear out this bruiser camp here top, grab their own bruisers, and Arrow is just going to safely soak here at the wall, but looks like he is going to rotate up here onto the shrines, get some turrets set up, and he's going to go ahead and start this bad boy.
Yep, because, he was already up there, and as Gazlo, like you said, you can throw down those turrets, start getting the damage, even though his team is just a little bit later to the objective, than he was. Bruisers coming out for BeefBois, already pushing in.
All right, Sonya getting low there.
Sonya
in the
getting
back
low.
Yeah. But here comes all that poke damage coming out onto Mudge.
Yeah, Garrosh getting low too. Frontline taking a beating here already.
Alright, so they're going to make quick work with this. We're going to push out the wave here down here in the bot lane to gain access to these bushes. But Sonya getting low. Does the root kind of come out? No, not the root does not come out from Rabid Penguin, but in comes the Blizzard. Going to zone off that bush, but Doribo's going to step up. Poke damage coming out onto Mudge. Rabid Penguin finds himself low. Does get taken down by that Hanzo. Sexy Exy is jumping here into the backline. They do take down Doribo as well. Mudge is getting low as well. The stun is going to come out. Smork is going to get bit in the butt, but does leap over that wall there. And then we do see Sonya heading up over here to the shrine, starting to spin to win, and 7 is now online for BeefBois.
Yeah, so that was a two for none there. Fortunately, so that means BeefBois is going to be able to take this shrine fairly easily. They're almost at 40. Looks like Arrow down in mid, just trying to push lanes out and get value elsewhere before his team has to defend against this Frozen Punisher.
Yep, absolutely. Frozen John Cena here, going to be first. We'll probably get the wall here. They have a decent amount of siege damage, but the first one doesn't really get a whole heck of a lot done. But the Unstoppable does get popped by
Typically.
Mudge. Yep. So I'm not going to get locked down there.
We're all getting hurted though. Going to have to be careful, taking a ton of damage. Able to tap though, moving around. You really do have to be careful with these Frozen Punishers. The roots, if a team is standing on the other side of your gate and ready to follow up, ooh. Like I said, can be real dangerous. And Thrall going down, he gets the kill, but John Cena definitely did his part to help there.
All right, so I will backpedal here a little bit. Out comes the double root again. They're going to toss Arya to safety. Down goes Garrosh. It is a 3-for-0 trade. The root does come out, but not able to catch Arya by the tail there. And this Frozen Punisher is going to go ahead and start on this key wall.
He's, doing some work. Like I said, a bit of a backtrack from what we mentioned earlier about not getting much done. Boys were able to push in here and make the most of that Punisher. Not only did they get the fort, but they got keep wall down as well. So actually pretty good value for a first round objective.
Yep, absolutely. So we do see Arrow going to continue that double soak game. Not as quick as Sonya, but we do see Tribulation down here spinning a win on the camp here, looking to just go ahead and cap this. Arrow, I think, has an idea that they are down here and just going to safely soak this at the wall. But the invade is on here for this caster camp. Now let's see if they do the poke trick, see if they can get down that fountain. Nope, they're just going to take that and get on out of here. That is a successful invade for BeefBois.
I mean, unfortunately for ReGen, there wasn't much they could do there. They don't have 10s yet, so it was almost certainly a death wish if they had stepped up, to try and defend that camp. I think, that was the right call. Let them have it, back off, get 10s, and then once you're on the same talent tier, everybody has their ultimates, then it's time to engage.
All right, Sexy Exy looking to dive on Arrow, but not getting on that opposite side of Gassel there to move him back into the team. But, this bottom wall is down. In comes the slide. The toss does not go out by Mudge. The poke damage is there. In comes the Saturday. In comes the Gravel and connecting onto 2 members in the backline. Out comes the Stay a While and Listen. Out comes the Thrall ult as well. And what a disengage there by Dirk.
And this is not Bloodlust Rhaegar here. We saw the Ancestral coming out onto Garrosh, keeping him alive through that Stay a While. So no Bloodlust here, unfortunately, but I guess that was good for Garrosh then. He was able to get the save from Ancestral.
Yep, absolutely. So we did see the Gravel Bomb. Like you said, the Ancestral was there. Tazdingo for the Zul'jin there. We do see the Warlord's Challenge coming out from Garrosh, as well as the Sundering. And what ults do we have on the side of BeefBois?
For BeefBois, we got Archon from Tassadar. We already saw the Stay a While and Listen from Deckard. Sonya took Leap, so we're going to get to hear that wonderful scream. Dragon Arrow for the Hanzo. And we saw the Ice Wall come out from Mei in that fight too. Unfortunately, did not catch anybody, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So that squishy backline, that Rhaegar or that Zul'jin, looks like Sonya will have her eyes set on as well. Or maybe even a quick leap to get out of a Grabo Bomb. So we do see Sonya up here. Going to just continue to catch Soak.
And ReGen picking up their Bruiser camp again, timing it perfectly before, the objective pops.
All right, Mudge does go ahead and miss that stun out onto Sexy Exy. Not sure even if they did get the toss there onto the Mei, if it would have been a particular kill, but just being able to slow the rotations down here. And I like this, push this wave out here a little bit because vision control is important on Infernal Shrines here. If you push out your wave, you control this bottom bush. But in comes the engage, the toss onto Sexy, tosses it over the wall. In comes the Hanzo Arrow connecting onto 3 members. In comes the leap, but does get canceled by that Mei wall. The toss coming out onto Arrow to save him. Out comes the Ancestral onto Mudge, topping him off. Out comes the Warlord's Challenge onto that Mei. Sexy likes to get slows, but in comes a fantastic stay a while and listen. Locks down Mudge. Rapid Penguin is running away. The icing is going to come down, but great root coming out from Penguin to save their own life. The ice block is going to come out from Mei there to do that, but Deribo, the chase is on here, but everybody is awfully low on the side of ReGen Phoenix. 13's now online for BeefBois, and they will just live to fight another day.
Yep, and even, you know, they were lucky to have walked away with only 1 death on the side of ReGen Phoenix. You know, we did see them getting pretty low, but that cleanse, I think, saved Thrall's life. You know, he was able to sneak away with just that last little chunk of XP or health, excuse me. So they're gonna once again have to just defend against this Punisher Arcane this time.
Yeah, we got the Arcane Limbo bars just gonna go ahead and spin their way here. Pings are coming out. They know that Mei is in that bush here. We will see Mudge probably try and bait this over, bump it back with the Unstoppable here. So does not time that in time. Out comes the Ice Wall. Is going to connect not Arya there, but out comes the Arrow, not connected to anybody as well. Mei is going to jump in here into Blizzard, taking all of that tower aggro, but will pop that ice block and get out with their life. Wall is down here for the keep. The leap is going to come out onto Arya there, but out comes the stun from the Garrosh. I'm just trying to keep the enemy team at bay, but these Blizzards are doing a fantastic job just zoning off ReGen Phoenix. The triple root coming out underneath. Let's see if they turn this around here. Nope, not unfortunately. Have enough health on the side of ReGen Phoenix there to keep that going.
Yeah, barely managing to hang on to their keep there. You know, it's probably down. It's below a third of its health. Can't talk tonight. But they're going to try and stop the camp invade this time since they are on even talent tiers. But Garrosh unfortunately getting stuck on the wrong side of that Tassadar wall, and he gets deleted. Leap onto Gazlo to stay a while in there too, and I don't think Arrow is going to make it out of that one.
Now, another great stay a while. Listen, just to even zone there as well. But, oh, was such a great timed self-ancestral mess ancestral there.
Yes.
That is the Born to Shine special there. The Taz Dingo does get popped there. Arya does not have that, but will try and keep up Deribo, but unfortunately it is not enough. And this will probably be the first keep of the game here, I think, for BeefBois.
Yeah, I spoke a little too soon. ReGen Phoenix managed to hang on to it for a little while, but BeefBois saying, nah, I don't think so. We want that. We got to have it. Went in and got what they wanted. They are, they have picked up their 16s now as well. So once again, we're seeing that talent tier, you know, that difference. ReGen Phoenix is going to have to be very careful with their engages for another 3 levels.
Yep, absolutely. And that's what they need to do. They just need to safely soak here. They do have at least 1 fort up. But BeefBois does have a win condition here in the bot lane that they need to constantly monitor here. They do have the mutual camp going to go ahead and push here, but here we go. Looks like we have a team fight here in the mid lane.
Yep, BeefBois push it in, saying we want more structures. They're going to come after this mid fort here. Garrosh again getting stuck on the wrong side of that Tassadar wall and then getting stuck in the Mei wall. A little bit of a miscommunication there with the Hanzo arrow. Garrosh gets booped back, does fall once again.
Absolutely, and just poor Mudge is just getting bullied here in this particular game. A little bit of miscommunication there, but I guess if they had some nice wiggles and dodged that ice wall from the Mei there, maybe they would have got caught there by the arrow. But just a ton of CC coming out from the side of BeefBois here, and they have their sights set on this mid-keep wall.
Yeah, they've really been able to lock down the members of ReGen Phoenix and get those picks that they wanted. Fairly dominant so far. Unfortunately, 10 kills to 0.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see, as I said, we might see Deribo rotate down here. There is 2 catapults and that camp still pushing there in the bot lane. We did see Sony go ahead and invade and steal successfully the Bruiser camp from the side of ReGen Phoenix there, denying their 16 or their boost to 16 with that camp there. So we may just see this particular Immortal just go over to the side of BeefBois. May not want to fight this unless they do get the 16s. Maybe just, maybe look to end just lose the keep here. The keep is here. This is a Mortar Punisher, so it's not going to get shut down. But there we go, 16s.
Yeah, they're almost 16s, but yeah, once that comes online, they're going to have to go in and make something happen really quickly here. BeefBois already almost halfway done with the shrine, already at level 18. So I think this is ReGen Phoenix's best chance for an engage, maybe before 20s. But it looks like they're choosing to give here.
Yep, absolutely. Just comfortably get 16s. No need to just rotate in there and get picked and potentially lose the game here. So 16s are online. They're just trying to push these waves out a little bit, and they'll meet here for potentially the final team fight of this game.
Yep, they're going to choose to fall back, fight under the keep, try and get that extra structure aggro to help them out as they're defending against the Punisher. Like you said, that's a mortar, so not quite as overpowered as some of the other John Cena's, but still going to do some damage here.
Yeah, and they are making quick work of this keep here. John Cena is about half health as it marches on, but down goes to Rebo there in the backline. The leap is out onto Mudge. The follow-up leap from the Sonya. Out comes the Sundering, and out comes the Ice Wall as well, but that's stun going to come out onto Durka. Arrow going to poke down in the backline as this Triglov, I'm sorry, not the Triglov, but the Punisher and the side of BeefBois sets their sights onto this core, and it is at 75%, and falling down goes Arya, and I think that will be GG's end game 1, going over to BeefBois.
Yep, strong game for sure coming out from BeefBois, ending at 13 kills to none. Not quite making it to those level 20s.
Oof, yeah, not quite indeed, but ending that there with that final push. So let's take a look here at the match summary screen. And yeah, like you already mentioned, 13 in kills to 0. Just not being able to just seal a deal with those kills there. Zul'jin does a ton of damage, but not really a finisher there in this lineup. Real beefy for the sustained team fights there, but just not a lot of damage coming out there.
Yeah, ReGen definitely seemed obviously to struggle into BeefBois' comp. We saw the Garrosh getting caught out several times. I don't think he was able to get the picks that ReGen was counting on. We saw a lot of tosses onto the Mei. I don't think he was quite able to get to the Deckard or the Tassadar. So they just weren't quite able to execute their draft as well.
Yeah, so Jaribo did the best that they could, 26,000 damage, but Tassadar with just an immense amount of damage that he can put out, almost doubling what Zul'jin was able to do with the 44,000 damage there. But just all around good draft from the BeefBois. So we'll take a peek here at some talents. What do you see here? What do you like?
As a support main, I always look at the healers first, of course. And okay, I typically like to see the additional slow on Rhaegar at 1, but again, that's just a personal choice. But fairly familiar talents. The Deckard taking Sapphire and then Ruby. I liked the Ruby a lot. I saw them, get value if Sonya leaps in, throw down a Ruby. She has potions. Anyone who goes in, stay a whiles were on point. The Deckard, so that was definitely, I think, the choice there for sure.
All right, so let me just jump in here and update these, what we got going on. All right, but yes, to your point, like Deckard opting for the slow, I love that particular talent there, and then as well as rubies. You don't see rubies too often anymore, but I'm a fan of those rubies when they're there. Very life-saving when you can kind of just a little baby Capri Suns.
Yeah, I think with the cooldown increase on Ruby, it kind of fell out of favor as the go-to pick, and now it's only in certain situations. But I still do like it in those particular situations. It's definitely handy.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like we will try and get some clarification here on where we are heading next. Give these teams time to settle down a little bit. But it looks like we do have ReGen Phoenix gonna opt for first pick again, which I don't hate that. I mean, particular, I think most teams, if you have a map that you like, I think it's a good idea if you're comfortable there. The hidden spots, the rotations, the fog of war. I mean, I call it like the sixth man. If anyone's into sports, like home field advantage, if you're comfortable there, it can kind of give you an advantage.
But I mean, too, first pick allows you, those comfort hero picks. They're no matter what map you end up on, if you have something that's good in a lot of situations, having that guaranteed pick can also be a huge help.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think there's
We got
anything.
our lobby.
We do. We're going to jump in here, and it looks like BeefBois wants to take us to Towers of Doom, which, again, could see the double soak thing. They may have a strat that they particularly want to play on, but this is like the comeback map. I think, this gives ReGen Phoenix a good shot at looking for that reverse sweep here.
Yeah, I've seen teams come back. I myself have come back on this map, with a core at one shot left. Definitely the best comeback map in the game. Gives you the chance to make plays, even early game, late game. There's just always a chance for you to turn things around here.
Yep, absolutely. So I will let them know that we are ready.
Yep.
All right, so then we can see
Murda in chat.
Oh.
Thanks. Nice jersey. Yep. Yours too, Murda.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, can't listen to the sound right now. No problem, Murda. Got to turn that sound down. No one wants to listen to me talk. Anyway, El Taco, my man, how are you? You're doing coin toss. Did I read your message? I didn't see your message. I do apologize. We do see Meebus and Fujin and El Turn. Everybody, thanks for coming out, enjoying this. Looks like BeefBois are ready. We're swapping some captains, but no, thanks for everyone coming out, supporting these teams. Some solid NGS action as we get set to get into game 2. And I would say Towers of Doom is probably my favorite map. Outside, if like Infernal Shrines was off the table, I'm with you there. But I think Towers of Doom is really fun. But that's as an offlaner, right? Like for me, just double soaking playing against the AI is just it's just fun to me. I'm like, let me kill these minions. I don't want a team fight. That's all you guys down there in the bot lane. Just let me try and get 30. Yeah.
It's left to us that are us 4 men. We're stuck in bot team fighting for the entire game while you just get to kill minions.
I do. I am supporting you guys and giving you talents and experience, and it's not my fault you guys lose.
Well, I mean, we appreciate your sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, right. I don't get to be on TV, Mom. I'm up here just auto attacking minions.
Oh, I do like this map a lot more as of late. If you'd asked me 2 NGS seasons ago, I probably would have said this was, on the lesser end of my favorites. But I do enjoy it more. A little more familiar with how to play it. And we see that Hogger ban coming out again first from ReGen Phoenix. Oh, and the Ariel too. All right, same first 2 bans on both sides here.
Yep, I was going to say, do we happen to see any target bans coming out from the side of ReGen Phoenix here? But nope, they are holding strong. They just were a little lackadaisical coming out in game number 1. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just need to come out, get smacked in the mouth. I know that's how we were last season. We, for the Dancing Queens, we would lose stereotypically game 1 each and every time. And come back and reverse sweep. Mm-hmm. But yeah, here we go.
Yep.
Sonya, first pick here by Arrow. Love to see it.
Yep. Sometimes you just got to get those jitters out game 1, and then that lets you calm down and focus, for the rest of the series. We got exact same bans on both sides. I mean, I think the Chromie in particular makes sense here. She can just poke forever on the shrines. Arrow taking the Sonya away from BeefBois here with that first pick.
All right, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. So we do see the Mei Hanzo combo coming up here again. Now, I like the confident Sonya pick. I mean, Zul is really good on this particular map, but Sonya trades into Zul very well. So, Sonya not really having a whole heck of a lot of counters. Maybe Arel can hammer her out of her spin, but I think what you need to do with that Sonya is maybe go for a Dahaka or a Global that can double soak and then turn a fight while she is off in a different lane to a 5v4. Now, I'm liking this draft already coming out here from ReGen Phoenix.
Jax the Uther.
I am if I could one-trick Uther, I would. I absolutely love Uther, but we see Doribo picking up this time, so this could be main tank Uther. I think here, unless
that's kind of my thought as well. Which is your favorite kind of Uther?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But Arya's still holding a pick here. We could see double support going to come out here as well. Tychus is a great auto attacker, so they're going to go ahead and ban that Rhaegar this time. They are not going to enable that double support with the Rhaegar and the Bloodlust for that Tychus. So third and final ban is going to be the Deckard. That'll stay on while it listens.
Support's getting a lot of, I don't want to say love because bans aren't love, but getting targeted by a lot of these bans here. We're seeing the healer pool narrowed considerably.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm surprised there. So I was wondering if they were going to opt for the double support, because Ana with the grenade can negate a lot of that healing, but Deckard can as well with the Emerald. But that stay a while and listen, I think, really did them in last time. So we're going to see Mouthfeel get picked up here to trade into the Sonya, can double soak as well, but opting for that global with the Brightwing.
Also going for Brightwing, so you get to have your Uther and I get to have my Brightwing.
Well, I guess we know we're drawing the line in the stand here, and we know which side both of us will be rooting for here silently. But no, so the last two picks are going to come out here from ReGen Phoenix.
Malthiol, that pick, I like that a lot here. Good double soaker. We see the Zul coming out for ReGen Phoenix, also probably going to double soak, and the Stukov picked up for double support. So yeah, I think it is going to be main tank Uther here.
I'd love to see it, but out comes the Medivh. So yeah, love to see that. So
Spicy last pick here.
Yeah, so it could be double support, it could be main tank Zul, but it's actually not going to be. It's going to be main tank Sonya or Uther perhaps. So we do see Arrow swapping over to that Zul, going to be able to trade very well into that Mouthfeel, but needs to be careful. Very susceptible to ganks. They can have the Mei Ice in there into the Brightwing Polymorph, as well as Medivh shenanigans there. So looking forward to game number 2.
Always shenanigans when Medivh is involved. Always.
Yeah, it's nice to see good players play Medivh. Like down in our neck of the woods, we don't see a whole heck of a lot of Medivh. Really, just tough hero to play. And like, it took me a while with playing with a Medivh player to get used to clicking portals not on accident.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I can't even like use portals correctly, let alone play Medivh. So yeah, I respect any team, any player that can draft him and use him effectively, because definitely way above my my poor silver skill level.
Yeah, like it's just one of those, like even in Brawl, like or ARAMs, you get that hero and you got like even like 5 stacks and you die. It's just like, okay, I'm done trying to stack this hero. I'm not playing this game anymore. But all right, so yeah, so here we go. Game number 2 on the left-hand side in the blue. ReGen Phoenix, we have Arrow on that Zul, Deribo on Uther, Arya on that Stukov, Rabid Penguin on Tychus this time, and Mudge on Sonya. Who do we have on the red side?
The battle begins.
We've got Dirk on the Brightwing, Smork Killer on Hanzo, Albatox on Medivh, Tribulation on Malthiol, and Sexy Exy playing Mei.
All right, loving that Mei. Great Mei player from what we saw in game 1 here. So we do see Arrow going to rotate here to the top lane immediately. Just going to go ahead and get started on that soak. Tribulation is fishing around there, looking to catch anybody trying for that flank.
You see Stukov throwing down silence in the bush here. Team's just kind of, they're in the mid dance, early game mid dance here, just kind of trying to clear that wave, maybe get a little bit of free damage. Deribo getting a little bit up in the face of BeefBois, takes some damage for it. But rotations already on the side of BeefBois, and ReGen Phoenix just a little bit behind them as they head down to bot.
All right, stun is going to come out onto Sexy Exy, trying to slow the rotation down on the main tank there as the damage does come out here. Polymorph does come out onto Sonya, and they're going to have a rough time with that stun. The shield coming out from the Medivh, the portal out as well. That looks like a good solid portal there if I were to ever see one. Taking a peek here at the offlaners, we do see them just doing their thing, catch and soak back and forth, giving up their TV time to support their respective 4-mans. All right.
Yeah, Zul already those waves pushed in pretty far, rotating back down to mid, a little bit ahead of Malthiol. Did take on a Pale Horse that additional movement speed though, which is typical on this map. If you're double soaking Tim.
Yep, absolutely. So yep, it's going to go on the Pale Horse. That one does help with the rotations there. But I also like the other one. I forget the name of it, but kind of gives you that movement speed there a little bit. So if there's a gank up onto you, you can kind of pop that and run away safely here. You see a little trade up here. The root is going to come out into that Malthiol. Tribulation finding himself a little bit low, but will live to fight another day. Coming back down here in the 4v4 and just trying to push out these sapper camps on either side. Out comes the icing, out comes the blizzard from the Mei. Not going to be able to connect onto that back line there. Tychus Grenade just doing some friendly poke damage there. And, both these teams with their double support style comps, not much going to happen there besides just, pushing some buttons and little poke action.
Teams clearing the other team's sappers, no chance for them to really push in there. So, like you said, kind of like an even trade. And we see BeefBois rotating up to mid. Maybe looking to get a gank if they can, just hanging out. But, taking those mid-eve portals to rotate down quickly to try and get some damage onto Mudge.
And poor Mudge just opting to play a hero in this game that can heal themselves.
I think Rabid Penguin pushing in Tychus, trying to get a little bit of damage off onto the Mei. Arrow actually getting the kill, though, on the Mei. The first one here for ReGen Phoenix.
Yep, Rabid Penguin finding himself a little bit low. Arrow low as well is going to rotate up here. In the top lane, we do see that respective trade, the 1-for-1 down here, but we do see Medivh flying down there in the bot lane. But Mudge does come up here, does get the stall out onto the particular channel on this side. But we do see ReGen Phoenix going to go ahead and back off. Just let that one slide, not feed too much here. Just continue the soak.
Yeah. So, 2 altars for BeefBois here in the beginning phase, but like we said, this is the best comeback map in the game, so they're already back at it, putting in bot, just trying to get that soak. Sappers will be up again here in about 15 seconds.
Alright, in comes the Medivh portal, just against some quirky rotations coming out. 7's now online for both teams. And they're just going to raise here a little bit. Go ahead, sorry.
Dukov looks like he's trying to hang on to those silences until he sees a portal, dropping one underneath either side, trying to say, hey, if you're going to choose to pop through this portal, well, you're going to come out the other side silenced.
Yeah, great counter there, as well as Junkrat, putting the traps and the bombs on the portals. Junkrat is another good counter to the Medivh. But both these teams rotating on their sapper camps here. No invades by far. So let's take a look here at some of the stats. So we do see the siege damage coming out, 49k already for the Zul and 47k respectively. But in comes the gank onto Tribulation there, and down goes Malthael.
Getting value from that Uther stun, they were able to rotate up, get the stun off, and then lock him down with the Zul root and deleted.
Yep, absolutely. Love the synergy from Deribo here on this Uther, but stepping up, playing big. Just a lot of hard CC and silence coming out from the side of ReGen this time. And Sonya, hopefully we get to see another Sonya Leap game.
Leap is my favorite Sonya ult, so yeah, I'm definitely hoping we see that again.
But we do see Medivh foregoing any sort of stacks just to continue to soak. We do see Malthael come back up, but we do see Mudge and Deribo trying to zone off here. The stun is out. Rabid Penguin does continue the channel, but Medivh does get that. In comes the Brightwing Blink onto Sexy Mexi. Out comes the Blizzard to stall. Arrow does get blind and stunned in that particular little narrow corridor. Out comes Silence again from Arya there just to try and just cancel any sort of rotation in through there. So we do see the trade, the 1-for-1 here.
Yeah, looks like they were pushing in, but they realized, hey, it might be more value just to give this altar. Let's try and go get 10s. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them try and make something happen once they pick their 10s up. But yeah, even trade for that altar phase. Still pretty typical for early game on this map.
Yep, absolutely. And just so you know, I almost said Blown there, and I knew you probably would have cringed. It's so hard. It's so hard not to say. I swear it's a word. I know it's not.
It's not a word.
It is not. So we do see Deribo going to go ahead and finish that Q quest here at 6 minutes in. Love to see it. We'll power up that Q build even further. So now the wall is down here. We do see Sonya, who just provides so much siege damage. Smork Killer does get the blink from Dirk to top them off. Spinning the win underneath the silence, doing a great job here. So 10 is now online for both these teams. We do see Medivh going to go ahead and finish that quest. Well done. 6 minutes in there as well. So on the side of ReGen Phoenix, we do see the Poison Nova, we see the Massive Shove, we see the Divine Storm, Wrath of the Berserker, so no leap this time, as well as Odin. So, but it makes sense, Sonya being in the 4-man, can cancel a lot of the CC, as well as increase that siege damage if they need it.
Much as I like leap, I do like the pick here, their comp and on this map. Alright, so ReGen Phoenix kind of pushing in here, trying to get some damage onto BeefBois. Tychus getting stuck in the ice wall from May, you know, kind of preventing them from getting any picks here. So both teams will have all their, you know, all 5 people up for this next altar phase, single altar phase, I might add.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see ReGen Phoenix go ahead and rotate onto their Sapper Camp. We may see an invade here. Pings are going to come out. Sexy Exy does rotate in here, but in comes Mouthfeel into the back line. The entire front line is in here. Looking to trade. Does get the blink into this Divine Storm coming out from the Uther, but in comes the poison damage. Out comes the ley line as well as the arrow. Awfully low is the side of ReGen Phoenix, but out comes that May wall to keep himself topped off. But just Mudge living in the back line here, just taking care of 3 members here as the rest of ReGen Phoenix steps up onto this. The trade is on. Everyone is awfully low. Down goes Malthiel. The silence is coming out as well. The other 4 members of BeefBois are low, but no chase is on there. And I was going to say, in all of that, Malthiel did take that top Sapper Camp, so that was down. But we do see Sonya going to go ahead and rotate. Catch Soak in the mid while Arrow caps this altar point down here in the bottom.
Enough of this charade. Bring down the
A lot of ults used there, and a lot of damage put out on the sides of both teams. I'm surprised we didn't see more than just 1 kill there, but we're going to see ReGen Phoenix able to take the first altar of the game, and it is bot.
All right, absolutely. Yeah, just double support comp coming out from both of these teams. So just they need to pump out an insane amount of damage on a select target to maybe try and get any kills done here. So 13's now online for ReGen Phoenix as they set their sights here on this middle bell tower. Stun going to come out onto the...
Yeah, they're going to...
Oh, go ahead.
Deep getting topped off by Brightwing there. Saved him. Okay, yeah, but they're using they can see, you know, the BeefBois are kind of split, you know, Hanzo's bot here trying to get that altar back, so they decided to try and push in mid, get a little bit more pressure there while they could. Didn't manage to take the tower, but, you know, have the wall down in front.
All right, so we just see them resume the defense here of the bottom bell tower. While they have it is at half health. 13's not quite online yet for BeefBois here, so they should have an easy time pushing this. Out comes the stun and the silence underneath the May. Not going to be able to get out of there, but in comes the Divine Storm to lock May in where she stands. The ley line does come out, but not in time. Out comes the arrow as well. The Unstoppable, the cleanse is going to get popped onto Rabid Penguin, so nothing else is going to follow up there. And just a good trade there. All in all, for the side of ReGen Phoenix, only had to use 1 ult, but 2 ults getting burnt there to try and save poor May, but unfortunately not successful there.
Yeah, like you said, it's kind of the reverse this time. We're seeing an insane amount of lockdown coming out from ReGen Phoenix, you know, and even to the point where they can, you know, take a May's health bar from full to 0 fairly quickly because, you know, she just can't push any of her buttons.
Yeah, when she is locked into that ice block, actually Tychus' trait absolutely shreds that shielding, where she actually gets no healing out of it at all whatsoever. But to your point, Born, just draft CC friends, it wins games. So we do see Malthiel fishing here in the backline, looking to jump on them as well, as we do see Zul up in the top lane continue that soak. Out comes the Ice Wall, does connect onto Deribo there, the Blizzard underneath it, but in comes Sonya, looking, she's going to pop Wrath of the Berserker to spin in the backline. Out comes the Polymorph, so that will stop her in her tracks. She's not going to be able to spin to win, but just doing a great job just defending as 4 here, as Arrow's just up, just trying to cause a distraction, or maybe ReGen Phoenix down here is a distraction. What a blow up. Albatrox absolutely losing half of his health there. We are still spinning to win. Arrow's pushing as hard as he can up the top. Out comes the Leyline Seal. The channel from Brightwing on that Hypershift does not get off in time. Down goes Malthiel again. Mudge is looking to get in here. Blizzard is going to come out. The sun's coming out from Deribo, the Polymorph as well. And these teams are just trading blow for blow down here in the bot lane, as Arrow is just pushing as hard as possible, getting the wall down here. That we do see the minions going to go ahead and start just pressuring up this top lane as well.
Yeah, Zul doing work, like you said. ReGen Phoenix, you know, maybe they were the distraction in bot, you know, keeping BeefBois busy, letting Zul do Zul things. They're going to really have to start watching that map pressure. You know, top already at half health here. Zul looking to pick up the top Sapper Camp to push in even more and maybe even snag that tower before this next objective phase.
Yep, absolutely. So still holding on to this bottom bell tower by just a thread. We do see Zola going to go ahead and take that top Sapper Camp. The Protected is going to come out onto this mate, but does get silenced, does get stunned. Out comes the Divine Storm. They are locking down Sexy Exy, and that Tychus is just doing an insane amount of damage. We do see Smork Killer going to get shoved back to the wall there, and out comes the channels here. We'll probably see Malthiel clear this camp here and then rotate here and take theirs successfully. If not here quite soon enough, we do see the rest of Beef Boys. Going to rotate up here. We do see 2 channels to 1 going out in favor of ReGen Phoenix. 28-8 in terms of shots here. We did see some pings out onto that middle bell tower, so let's see if ReGen Phoenix look for that particular structure here. But I think they're just going to try and just do the right thing here and hold on to bot. Grabbing that sapper camp, looking to shove these bad boys in.
Yeah, BeefBois has to be real careful here. They can't step up under an enemy tower. They still don't have their 16s. So there's really not a whole lot they can do in bot, unfortunately. And ReGen Phoenix is playing keep away.
Yep, absolutely. So in they come. We do see Sexy Exy going to go ahead and just pop that ice block. And I think let's take a look here at the talents. And we do have Sonya going slam build, so she does a tremendous amount of percent base damage as well. Just diving there underneath this. We do see the hyper shift, but not in time. I thought that was going to be a well-timed hyper shift, but down goes May. And this time we saw Mudge last game just Mudge getting blown up here. And then in likewise fashion, ReGen Phoenix coming out 7 kills to 0. So we are seeing, at least at this point in time, a complete 180 from game 1 to game 2 here on the side of ReGen Phoenix.
Yep, Mudge getting their revenge for the Garrosh picks in game 1.
Yep, so they were able to sneak in one little sapper boy there. So 7 shots left. Boss will put at 4. So a boss and this particular this channel could win the game for ReGen. So they do need to stall here if they can. Is the side of BeefBois, that is.
Yep, BeefBois going to have to try and make something happen here. Go in and take a team fight and hopefully get a pick or 2 off on ReGen Phoenix.
All right, so going to put them in between a rock and a hard place here. Out comes the ice wall. Is going to connect onto 2 members of ReGen Phoenix. In comes the arrow, not timed yet enough again. So that Sexy Exy does going to go ahead and pop that ice block, but the Divine Storm is going to connect onto 2 members in the backline. The damage is coming out. The Polymorph out onto Sonya to stop her from spinning here. So we do see the team going to go rotate down here to try and cancel these sappers. And then Tribulation doing a great job just bullying arrow off the channel. Out comes the ley line, is going to connect there, but the silence as well to cancel any follow-up onto that Tychus there. But that silence, again, is still just stepping up. Is Rapid Penguin trying to get the damage out. Does get that Blizzard. Rapid needs to be careful. The pings are coming out. Mudge is just down here living in the back line, just keeping 3 members of BeefBois busy here while the team going to go ahead and get that. And that is GG. And game number 2 going over to ReGen Phoenix.
Yeah, like you said, just in a complete reversal of game 1. ReGen Phoenix flipping it around, getting all the kills themselves and really just dominating that map.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, let's get that out of here. Boop. No, get away. Go away, chat. There we go. All right, there we go. So taking a look here to your points. So yeah, just arrow, just absolute monster there on that Zool. 22,000 soaked for the team, but Tribulation doing a fantastic job as well. Malthiel with the 18,000 experience soaked. So just both these teams, their offlaners doing what they do best, catching the soak for the team, but just all in all, just like having that percent base damage to deal with that May, I think was the game changer here for the side of ReGen Phoenix.
The percent base damage and the absolute amount of lockdown that they had, because she excels at sliding on out of there, if you tried to target her too much, but with all the lockdown, the Divine Storm, the silence, the stun from Uther, there was no way for her to escape that, and Tychus was just able to chunk her.
Yeah, absolutely. So taking a look at here, but yeah, just to that point, Sonya, 59,000 damage, really just putting the team on the back there, living in the back line, just trying to do the best to keep the team in that particular game. And, a lot of times taking 2 or 3 members to even deal with that Sonya. So maybe we could see a Sonya ban coming out here, depending on map picks and bans coming out. The ball is in BeefBois' court here, so we will see where they want to go. Go ahead and take a look at talents here. So Zool opting for that complete blue build. Love to see it there. Q build for the Uther. Stukov, that seems to be the particular build nowadays, going for the ballistic spores. Just being able to kind of live in the team fights there and just getting that slow out for the team. How about that Brightwing build there, Born?
Brightwing build, Hypershift, Magic Spit, yep. A little different than my Brightwing build, but definitely talenting into some of those additional heals with the Hypershift. Trying to do as much healing as possible for her team. Unfortunately, though, not quite able to keep up with that. I did see a few phase shifts that almost made it off, but the the blow up from ReGen Phoenix was just too strong.
Too strong indeed. So let's jump back over to our beautiful faces here while we update everything here and find out where we are going next. And as I saw in the chat, we're going to a game 3. Always love to get a 3-game series here. So just waiting to see here. So if you were on the side of BeefBois, would you like to opt for, from how both of these games ended up going, would you opt for the first pick this time, since ReGen Phoenix had first pick both the other games, or since it worked the first time, do you opt for the map?
If I were them, I would try and get first pick. I think we've seen, like you mentioned, kind of the Sonya was highly prioritized here, so they might, want to take first pick and try and steal her back for themselves. Or just try to lock down or lock in rather one of their comfort picks, their strong comfort picks here, because we are in game 3. This is it. Whoever wins here gets the series. So being on a comfort pick or something you're really strong at it could be really important.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like
Volskaya Foundry.
Yep, so let's jump over here to the map screen. Show everybody in chat, if you're just joining in, how we got here to where we are at. So we do see the BeefBois are going to opt for first pick here, and this particular map was picked by ReGen Phoenix. But Meebus in the chat abandoned that horde strategy. Hey, it worked. They won a game abandoning that horde, the horde only. So jumping back to us here, we will let them know that we are ready.
Yep.
So Volskaya, what do you like to see here on Volskaya Foundry?
I do like this map a lot. I do enjoy Volskaya, except for the third point on bot. Hate to see that one. But other than that, I do like this map. I like Deckard here a lot. Setting up the potions on the point helps his team stay alive. Garrosh is also another good pick here, so I wonder if we'll see him make it through the bans to possibly get picked up. What about you?
So we did see Zul'jin going to go ahead and get picked up there by the Rebo in game 1. Zul'jin is very good on this particular map, can get stacks off the Triglav Protector, as well as just burn through it if you happen to lose that. So bans staying kind of similar. We do opt for that Chromie ban, so maybe we see a Hogger. Or maybe just Hogger gets banned at second here, but Uther ban this time. Respect ban coming out for that Uther.
The Uther, yep. They said we had enough of his stuns and his storms. We are done. We don't want to get locked down like that again.
Yep, absolutely. Only so many cleanses. Do we get to see a Lily? I don't know if you've gotten to play Lily since her little power buff there last week.
Yeah, I have. I didn't take, any of the buffed talents, but I did get to play her. She does feel, stronger. I've seen a lot more of her lately. But I was wondering if we were going to get to see her getting picked up here tonight.
Wait is over.
All right, and one of my favorites is going to get picked up here is the Cassia, still a strong hero in the current meta. Did see a little bit of a nerf, but just I think rightfully so, putting her in balance with the rest of the other assassins. So let's see what is still up and available here. So Arrow just going to go ahead and take that Sonya. It worked last time. Why swap?
If it broke, don't fix it. I said I was wondering if she was going to make it through the bans here, if they were just going to get rid of that, but she made it. And then we see Tychus, Rabid Penguin picking up that Tychus again. Boys are going to have to be careful with their choice of tank here. I don't think I would take Mei again into Tychus, so they're going to have to carefully.
Well, like I said, Cassia does have the blinds into that Tychus, but any tank per se will have a rough time, but they do take the Stukov this time, so not a double support comp. Looks like it's going to be coming out from ReGen Phoenix, and here it comes at Hanzo, so they're going to opt to hold tank here for a little bit, but showing their hand here with both their damage dealers.
Wanted to lock those down. We saw the Hanzo before, and they just opted to take the Stukov away from ReGen Phoenix. Banned their Ariel, took their Stukov. Do you think maybe we'll see some more support bans here, like in the third round, like we did last game?
I'm not sure. Like I said, they're going to be in the May. They're going to force Sexy Exy onto something different here. Really open up that tank pool here. But I think we could see the healer band coming out here. We may see all 3 heal bands coming out on the side of. We could see a Rhaegar. Is what I'm thinking about. Maybe making Arya just play something that. Oh, but it's the Brightwing this time.
Oh, Brightwing band. Okay. I mean, she be useful here on Volskaya, you know, with the it's a big map, so you know the teleports, you know, she can be in top lane, and if her solo laner needs her, just pop in, and especially if you take the hyper shift at 1, you know, hang out for a little bit, soak some minions, and then your teleport's up again, and you can just move around the map, you know, really easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, just polymorphs. Nobody wants to be polymorphed in the team fight on that point. But like you said earlier, there is a good call on that particular Deckard. Can set up, get those potions on the point, and really make for those sustained fights. And then ETC. We don't see ETC too much in the current meta. Just kind of fell wayside. And not even sure why. Like, he was up there, saw a little bit of nerf to the 13, the Encore talent that reset the mosh pit. But, yeah, you don't get to see too much of the Cowboy.
No, haven't seen a whole lot of him lately, so interested to see what ReGen Phoenix does here with him. Hana picked up, and then Yrel on the side of BeefBois. I'm not surprised at all by the Joe pick. She's another one, you know, we see a lot of on this map because she can just walk onto the point and live forever, let her team do all the damage. I think that's a strong pick for BeefBois.
Yep, so maybe particularly looking at a mage. I actually wouldn't hate... Okay, an Alarak. That's not who I was going to say. I was going to say maybe a variant to deal with that shielding from the Johanna. But a good Alarak player is just something to fear. But yeah, to your point, Johanna providing extra blinds to the Cassia to pump up her damage, and then Yrel can live in that back line, can hammer the Sonya to cancel that whirlwind, but going to be able to jump in that back line and just give Deckard a hard time, as well as Alarak.
Yeah, boys here, you know, the Hanzo and Cassie are gonna have to be careful. You know, let Joe and Yrel hang out on point forever, do all the damage while they hang back, and you know, just like I said, live forever, hang out there.
Yep, absolutely. But Alarak is going to pull ahead anybody that is out of position there. And unfortunately, Johanna and Yrel, well, Johanna's not necessarily a full-on engaged tank. She can do it. But at the same time, if Yrel's jumping on the backline, Johanna's stepping up. That is a backline that is very immobile outside of Hanzo and his leap. So they need to be careful there in the backline for the side of BeefBois. All right, so let's get into game number 3 here on the left-hand side for ReGen Phoenix. We have Arrow on that Sonya. Daribo is going to go ahead and play the Tychus this time. Mudge on the Alarak. Arya on Deckard. And Rabid Penguin on ETC. And who do we have on the red-hand side?
We've got Albatox on Cassia, Dirk on Stukov, Smork Killer on the Hanzo, Tribulation playing Yrel, and Sexy Exy on the Johanna.
All right, good luck. Have fun's coming out in the all chat here. Love to see it. Both these teams playing their hearts out tonight for us, going to battle for our viewing pleasure. As we do see the trade here in the mid lane, but we do see Arrow going to go ahead and head down into the bot lane. So it will be a 5v4 here. Sprays coming out. Love to see it. Just some polite banter. Come on, step up and spray on that. Oh, Arya, you missed your chance there.
Yeah, Arrow we saw, you know, already in game 1 when Gazlo went right to the solo lane. So Yrel going down to meet him though. Deckard already throwing out potions and roots here in mid as both teams just try and get their minion wave soaked. ReGen Phoenix is going to be a little bit ahead on their rotations.
Yep, absolutely. You have to assert your dominance by spraying your spray over top of whoever sprays first. So Arya missing the chance there, but we do see the Unstoppable going to get popped by the Johanna there after landing a great 3-person condemn, but just the damage was not up there to follow up. Daribo going to go ahead and chuck a grenade, slowing down rotations.
Yep, and we did see the Johanna pick up the hold your ground at 1, so you know more trait for her, you know, more shields to ensure that she can outlast any damage that ReGen Phoenix puts out.
All right, so we do see Arrow going to go ahead and start this camp. We're going to see Arya just drop a few Capri Suns over here for a little after-school snack for Arrow. After taking that, we do see the whole team rotating over here to grab the turret camp from the side of BeefBois here.
And both of these teams, similar in that, the camp timings, are almost identical. They're both going to take their turrets together, and that means they're both going to be back up at the same time, so both teams will potentially have that second turret halfway through the first objective.
Rabid Penguin finding himself caught out there a little bit, trying to just provide vision on the other side of this support camp here. But needs to be careful. The rest of the team is going to rotate in there, trying to slow down, but ETC is very gankable here. The zoning Dorito does come out from the Deckard. The Capri Suns are aplenty here from Arya, doing a great job just keeping the team topped up.
Yeah, that is one of the weaknesses of ETC, is that, he will have to be careful. He's one of the more squishy tanks, so, here trying to slow down rotations and stuff, but doesn't want to go in too deep and end up getting stuck in the middle of BeefBois.
That is true here, so just waiting for a play here on this support camp, but we do see ReGen Phoenix opting to go ahead and start rotation over there on to their siege camp, and in comes the rotation and the gank out onto Errol. Does he get the turret down? He does get the turret down, but he does lose his life, and that will be first blood going over to the side of BeefBois.
Yeah, I did note that, was going to bring that up, after we talked about the camp top, but Arrow was pushing that wave in pretty far, and you do have to be careful here. Your enemy team decides to rotate down and help their offlaner, then yeah, you put yourself in a very gankable position.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dirk up here just clearing the waves. They will have to rotate somebody up there to deal with this bruiser camp, but we do see BeefBois going to go ahead and grab theirs respectfully here as well. But no, they may just forego it and just rotate down here. Arrow is back up and just down here dealing with the Arel. Looking to probably catch sevens for the team as well. Here, sevens are just underway here for the side of BeefBois.
But we see ReGen Phoenix, already at 40-some% on the point. Deckard was hanging out here, throwing down potions, setting up, even though, they were down behind one member, until Arrow got back. And we see both of the offlaners rotating up. It looks like the teams are going to start fighting over this point in earnest now.
All right, so the side of BeefBois, Sexy actually finds himself low. Arrow is spinning to win, needs to be careful, but down goes ETC. We did mention that. He does find himself to be a little bit squishy, and unfortunately, unless if those potions are already there, healing a Deckard feels pretty bad sometimes. If you can't, it just feels like you can't throw potions out quick enough, and then if you don't land them properly, it's tough as well. But we do see them going to go ahead and take care of that ETC. Channeling of the first objective does go ahead and get started on the side of BeefBois, 30% and climbing, 96% already captured by the side of ReGen here. So we do see both teams going to go ahead and rotate and grabbing their turrets here to worry about fight number 2 over the first objective.
Yeah, I mean, ReGen was able to back out and then say, hey, look, we already have this at 96%. We can afford to reset, grab our turret, let our tank come back, and then we can step up again. Both teams have turrets this round. Arrow losing theirs first round when he got ganked bot, but now both teams have turrets, and Sexy actually getting caught out here. Needs to watch themselves. The roots coming out from Deckard, locking them down. Rabid Penguin taking a lot of damage again, though. Still living, but stepping up. We see turret come down for the side of ReGen. And it looks like they are going to be able to get the kill off on that Stukov and push BeefBois off of this point. ETC somehow still alive here.
Yeah, that got awfully close. I heard that Ruby Potion, but Doribo is going to cancel that channel, trying to get the extra damage. Walks away. Is Smork Killer with 55 of health. My goodness.
God. As a support main, that stresses me out.
I was going to say, is that a panic attack and a half for you or what?
Oh, God.
And
we see them taking that protector top lane as is typical. They're going to target that fountain, making sure that it's not there for the next objective phase. Get some damage on the wall here too for that top fort, setting it up for their team to hopefully push in later. And BeefBois making quick work of the protector though, so they're backing out. 30 seconds left, but already down at below 20% health, so don't know how much more they're going to be able to do here with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But to your point, both damage dealers are in this Triglav. They did get the wall down here, so they will be at an advantage here come in the next one. They do have 10s online as well. 10s now online as well for the side of BeefBois here. So just keeping up in the soak, kills in terms of 2-1 in favor of BeefBois. So both these teams just coming out swinging and giving us a great game number 3.
I was wondering if we were going to see somebody try and make a grab for this support camp, but so far no one's taken the bait.
Nope, no bait taken yet. We do see the Bruiser camp is going to go ahead and get taken first by the side of BeefBois. So we will probably see ReGen Phoenix going to go ahead and clear this up as well, but they're just going to continue on their rotations.
Yeah, there's Hanzo able to sniff out ETC kind of hanging in the bush there. BeefBois pushing in with the Johanna Blessed Shield onto Alarak, trying to get those kills off, and we see the flailing arm come out from Stukov. The Cassia ball was there too, but it doesn't look like anybody took enough damage to actually go down. So a lot of R buttons pushed, but no kills on either side.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Condemn actually canceled the Stay a While and Listen from that Deckard, so it did get put on a cooldown, but it is back up and available here as well. So, maybe just kind of helping out there was that Johanna there, because that could have been pretty worse for the side of BeefBois there.
Okay, and it looks like ReGen Phoenix opting to go take their turret. BeefBois already picked theirs up, prepping for this next objective, and we do see BeefBois, like I said, they're moving in on that heal camp. Someone's now trying to get it. Sexy actually pushing in, taking damage, but able to pop shield and walk away. And it looks like they're going to be engaging again here.
All right, Stay a While and Listen does come out, is going to connect onto that Yrel. Great concentration from ReGen Phoenix, not to get any damage out onto that Yrel, but that is 2 kills by the Stukov in favor of BeefBois. It chases on, make that a triple kill. Mudge is going to have to get himself out of there. They do opt for that, and the engage and the heal camp going over to the side of BeefBois.
Yeah, ETC again stepped up into the middle of BeefBois and just took way too much damage, too low, and I think was the first one to go down there in that fight.
Yes, I do believe you are right, because I think it was both frontliners and then Tychus right at the very end. So we do see BeefBois are going to rotate up here to get equal pressure on to this top wall, looking for the fountain here as well, but the rest of the team is up here. But that root coming out onto the ETC into that silence is just oppressive, and fantastic job by the BeefBois there.
Nasty.
Yeah,
that was a really good
silence.
Pick. Oh yeah, it's deadly. As ETC found out, and BeefBois saying, you took our fountain, you don't get to have a fountain for this objective either. Evening up the playing field a little bit here.
And Smort Killer, that was a fantastic concentration from them. Just going to go ahead and use the Hanzo arrow to delay that Stay a While and Listen. That way they didn't get caught underneath that fort. So starting the channel here is BeefBois.
Yeah, Stay a While though did again just get put on a shortened cooldown, so it will be back up here if ReGen wants to step up onto this point and use it.
Alright, so as we get back up here, we do see Tripulation going to go ahead and finish clearing that, but that will put the rotational advantage in favor of ReGen Phoenix. Let's see them try and pick a 5v4 fight, and we actually see BeefBois going to go ahead and just back off and wait for Yrel.
Yeah, they're looking at it going, we're almost at 50%. We can afford to take a step back here, just wait for the whole team. Don't want to take a fight down someone and risk, an untimely death. So they're going to let ReGen get a little bit of channel time here.
Yep, so I think they're going to opt to try and get 16s here if they can. Yrel's going to push out bottom lane, and Arrow will rotate down there to deal with that. But that puts Tribulation here in the mid lane. It is not even going to stop to get this. They're going to rotate up here as 5 and try and capture this back.
Mudge getting slowed by the Stukov, throwing down the silence, trying to catch him, but he is able to just sneak on out of there. We see Arrow rotating back up. It looks like we're going to have these teams going at it once again, waiting in the bush here, trying to see if we can get a good pick.
All right, but in comes the flag from the ETC. Out comes the pull from the Alarak, and that is just a whole lot of damage coming out. Out comes the Hanzo arrow. The heal camp is down. Out comes the Stay a While and Listen. We do see the Ardent Defender going to get popped by the Yrel, but out comes Odin pumping out all of this damage in that heal camp, but that they catch Hanzo out of position there as well. In comes the Yrel, hammer back the team, but great trade, a 2-for-0 trade in favor of ReGen Phoenix.
We finally got to see Stay a While connect. It didn't get interrupted this time. ReGen Phoenix, like you said, able to get those 2 picks for nothing. Gain back their momentum, and they're going to be able to take top fort before they even finish capping the objective.
Yep, absolutely. I like this call. They are able to take this, which means they will get this Striglov. They're going to get the heal camp here as well, and then Arrow's probably going to catch mid and then go ahead and prep the bottom lane, I think, as they look to push here in the bottom lane for the third objective.
Blue team has taken control of a protector.
Yep, BeefBois grabbing their turret before, ReGen has the chance to steal it. We see the Protector doing a little bit of damage, to the wall in mid here as it walks past. But, choosing to go bot and focus that Fountain as is to be expected.
So the gank out onto ETC. He does drop the heal camp. Unfortunately, Deckard is in the Triglav there. Deribo trying to get some poke damage, slowing down the rotation here from the team, but needs to be careful as the Triglav marches down here in the bot lane, already making quick work of the front wall here, but the Triglav is at half health, and you know what, Deckard and Alarak not really known for being too mobile, so they need to be careful here when they pop out of here. We do have Hanzo Arrow probably most likely going to come out here. There it goes. It is going to connect behind the safety of their own wall. They are not going to step up to try and get any more kills there.
Sexy Exy getting a little bit low and I think got targeted by the Tychus grenade, but they're gonna walk away. BeefBois is gonna back out and say, hey, we burned down that Protector, we still have our Fountain bot, we got what we needed.
Yep, absolutely. But in terms of structures, ReGen Phoenix was able to grab that top fort, and the mid fort is about half health there. So structure-wise, ReGen Phoenix is winning this game. Soak-wise and kill-wise, BeefBois 7-3 in terms of kills, and I'd say maybe about a third of a level ahead in experience as well, probably just from those 4 extra kills. So ReGen Phoenix playing the long game here. They do position here in the bot lane. They want to take this wall and maybe look for this Fountain, but in comes the rest of the BeefBois. We do see Arrow up in the top lane with that camp, but in comes the root and everything out onto this poor ETC. Out comes the Stay a While and Listen. Is going to connect onto 4 members, but someone pops out. Johanna, Arya is on the run from that Johanna, but will be able to escape with their life. So only losing the ETC there to that Stukov, Root, and Silence, but still, just that Stukov play here this game is really detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, the silences and the roots have been absolutely on point, waiting for the ETC to step up as tanks have to do, and then, locking him down and deleting him, not giving him the chance to protect his team. Oh, and we see another Silence and Root coming out from the Stukov, but not quite able to kill Alarak or Tychus here.
Yeah.
They're able to walk away with just a little bit of health. Joe got really low too and was also able to walk away.
Yeah, Counter-Strike is just one of those abilities that just rename it to call an ambulance, but not for me, because like we said, everyone was dumping damage onto Mudge there to secure that kill, and he just popped Counter-Strike and just was able to just return around and almost take out Albatrox.
Yeah, Mudge needs to be careful here. ReGen Phoenix in general needs to be careful because kind of fighting in this choke point here. ETC able to lock down Stukov in that mosh pit, but getting targeted by the turret here in really deep, and ETC goes down again as well. Mudge and Arrow getting low, but also out. Right, Arrow survives, takes 2 kills with him.
Yep, Sonya lives forever. Deribo is chasing down Tribulation here. Does not have the ult. The damage is coming out. Does he have tap available? No, and down goes Urel as well. Sexy actually does go ahead and get behind the wall there. And just what a bloodbath. That is a 1-for-4 kill trade for the side of ReGen Phoenix, and well on their ways to 20s, and the control point didn't even start yet, so they will most likely get the bottom fort here and this Triglav. So looking to probably get the first keep of the game here.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, this this bottom point, this is where the Triglav really starts to come online, and they're gonna, like we said, take out this fort before it even gets started. So they're definitely gonna be looking to put some pressure on keep here. Oh, not even waiting for the Triglav. They sent Alarak back to just say, hey, hang out on point. We'll get 20s. We'll keep the pressure going. So that way you can just take that Triglav and hopefully march right through their keep.
Dark needs to be careful here not to get picked. The only one standing here between ReGen Phoenix and this keep. But to your point, just Midge over here doing the High Lord's work, just holding the fort down for the team at 50%. Maybe opt to put Arya on here as well. Yep, just doing the things. The rest of the team will go ahead and grab that turret camp. Turret camp is up in 45 seconds on the side of BeefBois, but they need to be careful here. 20s now online for both teams.
Yep. Both have 20s, and this point, this is the notorious, at least for me, throw point. So teams are going to have to be very careful with their engages and positioning here.
So we do see Ode get popped in the top. We do see Sonya miss that spear, but out comes the flailing swipes from the Stukov, but nothing gets connected to members are going to eat that Hanzo arrow, but the damage is real. The slam coming out from the Yrel, but the Death Mosh on point, connecting onto 3 members. Mudge is out here silencing the rest of the team. Tribulation jumping in the backline to try and deter Deribo from jumping out here. Tribulation again, just Yrel has so much sustain, does channel the leap, is looking at Deribo, but out comes the swipe and the blind, and the root is going to come out onto Deribo, and down to go. Mudge getting bullied over here at 70 health, waiting for this Capri Sun. And my goodness, these teams are just trading blow for blow here in game number 3.
Like you said, it is an absolute bloodbath. And BeefBois were able to use that point, like I said, to their advantage. You know, even with the conveyor belts and everything, they were able to get the damage they needed and catch ReGen in some awkward positions there. You know, members getting stuck on the conveyor belts and, you know, getting targeted and focused down.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see Mudge and Arya going to rotate up here to try and get some more pressure up on that top lane. That camp will be looking at a keep up there as well. So we do see Yrel out here just doing the Lord's work. The light's work, I suppose, if a Paladin player in World of Warcraft. Just going to go ahead and get that channel 85% and climbing. Deribo is down for another 9 seconds. So that actually looks like we will see the third Triglav going over to the side of BeefBois here.
Yep, they're going to secure this one for themselves, and so it's now going to be their turn to try and put pressure on a keep. ReGen Phoenix, for the moment, still technically ahead on structures. They have that camp pushing in top, though. BeefBois are going to have to be careful, and I think they're going to need to either make a push to win here, or someone's going to have to go back and clear that camp.
All right, so Hanzo is in the Triglav, so we won't see the arrow coming out unless he jumps out of this. But this keep is going to be just taking down real quick. The root silent stun is going to come out. The stay while listen does get canceled there. Arrow finds himself off the low. Out comes the flailing swipe. Out comes the second flailing swipe from that Stukov. Out comes the mosh pit, but not going to stay in there as the Triglav is going to go ahead and get connected onto the core. The rest of ReGen Phoenix is looking to burn this thing down. The core is at 75% and falling, and Albatrox is getting bullied here in the backline by Rabid Penguin, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And GG's and game 2 going over to BeefBois.
But like I said, that last bottom point, it just can change the whole tide of the game, and BeefBois were able to take advantage of that, use it to turn this thing around and get the win. Yeah,
absolutely. That game 3 was it just held true to what we saw in game 1 and game 2, and it was just back and forth. Unfortunately, game 1 and game 2 was just a kind of a one-sided fight for each team individually. But then come through game 3, just all came together, and we just saw fight after fight after fight on Volskaya, and unfortunately it didn't go ReGen Phoenix's way there on the third and final point. But yeah, I dislike point C on that particular map. We did see the sweet death mosh there on the conveyor belt, but unfortunately everybody else got chased off, and it was only Deribo left on the point.
Yeah, they didn't. Like you said, unfortunately, didn't have any follow-up for that awesome death mosh, because that could have turned the tide, I think, in their favor for sure. But follow-up just wasn't there.
All right, so let's take a look at some talents here as I get everything updated, and let's see if we can get an interview. Any talents standing out to you?
I guess I always like to take a look, poke around at the support talents. We see Ruby coming out from Deckard again. Unfortunately, not able to save ETC in a couple of instances. And we've got Stukov again going that silence and the root build. And those, I think, definitely had a huge impact. They were able, BeefBois were able to get quite a few picks off of the Stukov silences and roots. Those were huge.
Yeah, my MVP was Dirk there. It's just with those silence and roots, just being able to pick off, to your point, that ETC, they just went into a lot of those team fights without a tank. But ReGen Phoenix, when they were all together, they were able to make some stuff happen and keep themselves in that game. And it looks like we will be getting an interview here, Born, so we will lose your lovely face here for quite a little bit here. We can jump into lobby number 2.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you there.
Yep.
Or 1. Sorry, lobby 1. All right, waiting for Born to get in here. There we go. Tribulation, hello, congratulations, GG's to you and the team. How you guys feeling?
You know, I guess we're doing pretty good. Oh, we got it. I didn't know he was coming.
Told to come.
Oh, okay. He just asked a question about how we feel, and I just told him we felt pretty good.
Oh yeah, I feel pretty good.
Yeah,
It was a close third game. Good third game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was quite a show for us and the chat. Quite back and forth there in Game 3. So let's start with game number 1. We went ahead to Infernal Shrines, and it was a pretty handily victory for you guys in game number 1. Just curious on how you were feeling after game 1, what the comms were like, as well as you headed into Infernal Shrines.
Oh, obviously we felt pretty good. You know, we dominated game 1 pretty well, and then they turned around and dominated game 2 on us. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, to that point there, then opting for Towers of Doom. I mean, is that a map that you guys practice quite a bit, have some strategy on? I mean, because that particular map lends itself to it's very long, and any team can really win. You just need a one channel and a prayer, and you can kind of win some of those games.
Yeah, I think after first game, I think Trib was feeling pretty hot, so we decided to go to an off-lane heavy map and just let him do his thing in the 1v1. Clearly, didn't really go too well overall.
And I just want to clarify, it was Sexy Exy who thought I was being pretty hot and wanted to go there. It was not me. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna dominate this solo." I did not say that. It was Sexy Exy, but it didn't go too well because I'm trash.
I think we just did a draft that we weren't too comfortable with, but we thought would be a pretty good counter pick to what they were drafting.
Yeah, I thought the Medivh pick was interesting there. Is that something you guys have practiced a lot? Is that like a comfort pick, or is that was just a spur of the moment decision?
I think it was more on the spur of the moment.
We've tried to practice it before and it hasn't gone well.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't had too much practice on it.
Yeah, I mean, getting the stacks done in 6 minutes is nothing to write home about. Like, that was well done. Like I said, I barely, if I do play Medivh, I don't get the stacks or even remotely close to getting those stacks done. But yeah, I think you did well in the off lane. I mean, it was just tough that the team was kind of getting bullied with that double support Uther down there in the bot lane, and just Sexy Exy. Anytime he would hit that ice wall, just between the Sonya Slam and then Tychus, just getting her out of that thing, and just spending a lot of time in the graveyard.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I was doing a whole different game.
Yeah, like I said, you just support your team by getting them the experience, and that's the fun part about Towers of Doom.
Yeah, that's what people say when they go there. Yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so heading into game number 3, Volskaya Foundry. Just heading into that one, the game on the line. Just kind of what were you guys thinking heading into draft?
Well, we did ban out 3 supports. We didn't want to deal with that double support. We really wanted to take it into like an honest 5v5 team fight Volskaya map. Better team wins on point. And a couple of fights went in their way, a couple of fights went in our way.
Well, pretty much all the fights went their way until the last one.
Yeah, that last point, as we said in the cast, can make or break the entire game. It doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what happens up until that point, but despite all that happens up until, you get to the third point, it can all be reversed in a split second.
Absolutely. All right, Born, any other questions for these fine gentlemen before we get shout outs from them and let them go and celebrate?
No, I'm good. Why don't we get our shout-outs?
Okay, all right. Any shout-outs from you guys before?
Oh yeah, I got shout-outs.
Let's do it.
I got shout-outs. Okay. First, let's shout out our team captain who couldn't be here. We won without him.
To Rob.
Yeah, Rob. He counseled on us on 10 minutes before the match start.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof. Discord, he's playing some Football Manager 2021.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah. Shout-outs to him. Hi, Born. It's nice to see you again, I guess. We used to be on a team at one time. And that's it. I got nothing else.
Fair. Anything else for you, Alba Talks? Any more shout-outs?
I mean, I guess we didn't shout out to the rest of the team. We had a good set. We'll look forward to playing with you guys for the rest of the season. That's pretty much it.
Okay, awesome. Well, GG's well played tonight to BeefBois. Looking to follow you guys the rest of the season, and yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys
Yep.
for casting.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Right.
All right, Born. I will give you a call back.
Sounds.
All right, let's get Born back on here so she can tell us all about herself and where we can find her. Maybe, perhaps. There she is.
There we go.
Let's see it just popping up here. But Born, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I will turn the floor over to you here as we... Oh, let me just get the pop out here. Beautiful. Well done. Everyone wants to see you here while you talk. But yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where we can find you, what you're doing this season.
I only co-cast, so I don't, have a Twitch or anything myself. So, look for me here casting with you and hopefully picking up some other casts. Be playing with my team Souls in Slow-Mo. We're in Div E. Shout out to those guys. I saw quite a few of them in chat here tonight. And yeah, you can find me. I'm on Twitter, Born to Shine with underscores around the shine. I post stuff that I do there. This coming Friday, I will be playing in Girls Gank Squad again. So my team target audience, this will be our third week. We're going to be trying to defend our champ status.
Awesome. Love that series. Best part of my Friday is watching the Girls Gang Squad, especially when my friends are playing in it, as Born alluded to there. So, but yeah, thank you so much for finally getting in here with me. I know you're a very busy lady going on, but hope to have you on here again. Again, I'm Dax_Hots. You can find me here on my Twitch page, Dax_Hots on Twitter. But if you love Casted Hots, I actually have the second part of the doubleheader tonight. Born will be leaving. She needs to head to bed. I don't like sleep apparently, and all that good stuff. But no. So thank you to Born. But I will have Punisher joining me here for Div D West action here as we have Metapix taking on Vibe Check. So we'll take a little break here, and we will be right back with some action. But again, Born, thank you so much, dear, and I hope to see you again next time.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. It was fun.
Alrighty.
Catch you later.